Hello guys and welcome back to Critical Meds Cast the Path to Glory 2v2 tournament hosted by Bronzepanic. This is Series 5 and it is Rat D, which is Criticalmeds and Bruzer, versus Loserpanic, which is BLoser Packs and Bronzepanic. Let's get into it. Hello guys and welcome to Game 1 of Series 5. We have BLoser and Bronzepanic on Team Loserpanic, and Criticalmeds and Bruzer on Team Rat D. We have Bruzer in the top left in red, Criticalmeds in the bottom left in teal, BLoser in the bottom right in orange, and Bronzepanic in yellow in the top right. This map is Canyon Paths. As you can see, there isn't a lot of starting Tiberium, but there is a lot of contested Tiberium in the middle. There is a nice patch between both players. This does have a few chokes, so GDI can defend themselves. It isn't massively open, but the main chokes are the four in the centre. So let's see how it goes. Most of the players opting for an insta deploy. Criticalmeds moving a little bit, probably to defend that MCV a little bit more with them rocks to the right. We do see there's 3 nods. Criticalmeds is the only GDI. Let's take a look at the scouting paths. So we do see BLoser get in the back ref first. Same with Bronzepanic. Both are opting to get that back ref first. We do see the Flamers in a nice position in the chokes for both players. Possibly a gap in the centre there that something could get through. It looks like he's noticed that. Does look like one of Criticalmeds' Grens just passed through there. We will look at his vision in a minute. They did get the MCV scout on Bruzer. Let's check out the other players' visions. Criticalmeds doesn't see much of BLoser for now. His Gren is up here behind Bronzepanic. He's going to get a flamer kill. So, both Bruzer and Criticalmeds are on free ref. Bronzepanic and BLoser are both on 2 ref. They're probably both going to go 2 ref strip, which means early aggression from both players. There they are. Criticalmeds opting for that 4 ref, so we might be in trouble with the early aggression from these early strips. We do see Bruzer's probably opting for the airstrip now. There it is. Probably in a more defensive position. It will be hard for him to reinforce his top side from there. BLoser scouting with the 1 buggy. He is getting vision of Criticalmeds' base. He's managed to see everything. Bronzepanic opting for bikes. Now, nods don't really go for bikes straight away unless they're wanting to snipe important structures. So we could see him dive Bruzer's MCV or the War Factory from the GDI. We do see BLoser Packs now has quite a few buggies on the map. And there's a lot of hidden bikes from Bronzepanic. He could go for this strip if Bruzer moves away from it. We see BLoser now pushing in with these buggies, trying to get a couple of Gren snipes. He does get them. That's free cash. Done very well not to take too much damage on them buggies. We see Bronzepanic now pushing south to help BLoser. Here come the bikes. It looks like he's going to go for a dive. It looks like Criticalmeds is going to be the one in the back end of this. He has got a tank out, but he hasn't got much defense in the back here. He has got 2 miniguns that aren't really doing anything. Does look like he's going to lose that War Factory. Bruzer and Bronzepanic aren't fighting the top for now. So this is just Criticalmeds getting double teamed at the minute. We do see some reinforcements on Bruzer. A couple of bikes. Criticalmeds really needs to save this MCV, otherwise he's basically out. You can't survive on 1 barracks in this situation. It looks like Bruzer's reinforcements really helping Criticalmeds there. He has managed to save the MTV. That is a lot of infantry on defence. Blues are going for the counter-attack. We do see the flame tanks there. They were the backup plan against the GDI on infantry tech. A lot of nods will opt for this flame tank play as well as the snipe play against the GDI. It is very effective. Looks like Bruiser's going to try and snipe the strip as well as the MTV. This could mean Bruiser could be out if he does lose this strip, or relatively dead, just like Criticalmeds. We do see Criticalmeds sending a little contingent of Grens up here to get these infantrymen. Bruiser now backing out because Bronzepanic is in the south to help Bruiser. The minigunners are doing a lot of damage to that MCV. We don't know if... Oh, Bruiser has sold. He did get it in time. Criticalmeds has rebuilt that war factory. Probably in a more defensive position this time. Bruiser is on the 5 Ref 2 strip. That is a really good time to sell the MCV if you want to get someone out of the game pretty quickly. Nod vehicles do build very fast on 2 strip, and 5 Ref is just enough to maintain it for quite a while. Just depends how much Tiberium there is. We do see the flame tanks pushing in. Criticalmeds don't really have any counter to this except for the tanks. The tanks aren't in the positions they need to be. These Grenadiers could be toast relatively soon. He did get the second war factory out and sell the MCV. We do see Blues are losing that hand and nod to a few bikes. He doesn't want to lose that. It is his last production building. Bruiser also opting to help Criticalmeds in this situation. He is getting rid of a lot of those buggies. Bronze now counter diving Bruiser in the north. Blues are managing to save that hand and nod. But now he's going to have to deal with both the GDI and the nod in the south by himself. Because Bronze is trying to push Bruiser in the north as well. We do see Bronzepanic is only still 4 ref with the 1 strip. So he will fall behind in nod vehicle count against this 2 strip. It's what's allowed Bruiser to be in 2 places at the same time. This double strip production. All that needs to go is that hand and nod, and Blueser Pax has nothing left in terms of production. And it looks like Criticalmeds is going straight for Bronzepanic now that he realises Blueser Pax is dead. You also see those bikes come up as well to assist these tanks. Bruiser is trying to hold on to this ref. That hand and nod can help if he gets some flamers out. Looks like he's going to have to sell it. You just clear up the rest of those forces for that 1 ref. He didn't get the harvester with it, so it's debatable whether it was worth it or not. But it does look like Bronzepanic is now in a 2v1 situation. Criticalmeds does have a sizable army, and so does Bruiser. It does look like game. It's going to go 1-0 to Rat D. So Criticalmeds and Bruiser do take that map. That's the first time we've seen Canyon Paths, I think. So obviously there was a set game plan in mind for Bronzepanic and Bruiser. They did go for the buggy bike style. Tried to kill Criticalmeds off quite early. They did manage to get rid of 2 war factories, but not quite the MTV as well. So Criticalmeds was able to rebuild the war factories. And Bruiser opting for that 5 ref 2 strip all in, just to make sure he's got enough units on the map to deal with what comes to both Criticalmeds and himself. So very well played. Good teamwork from both teams. I feel like the pivotal moment was when Bruiser Pax did go flame tanks, but they did get countered by Bruiser's bikes, and Criticalmeds still had tanks anyway. So game number 1. Let's have a look at the scoreboard.
Battle control.
Oh, we didn't get one. Hello guys, welcome back. This is game 2. Unfortunately we didn't get the scoreboard in the last game, but all is fine. We are on Zodiac. We've got Bruiser in red in the top right, Criticalmeds in the bottom right as teal, Bruiser in the orange in the bottom left, and Bronzepanic in the top left as yellow. Criticalmeds is GDI, Bruiser is nod. I think Bronzepanic and BLoser packs both play Nod, so they will both be Nod as well. We do see the scouts and anti-scouts from all 4 players. Bronzepanic being very aggressive in his crawl. He's gone very far up already. That would be the equivalent of someone being down here by now, by the looks of things. Everybody on 2 ref. Oh, Bruzer has opted for that 3 ref. That ref's not so good in the middle there. BLoser and Bronzepanic opting for a 2 ref on this patch. I don't think it is a 2 ref. It does seem to mine out a lot faster than the rest of the patches on the map. Obviously there is no tip trees on it like the rest. So I would say they are just generally a 1 ref patch. These are where you can get 2 or 3 patches, and obviously a couple on this one as well. Let's have a look at the scouts for all the players. So Bruzer and Criticalmeds, they haven't really seen much yet. Bruzer's just got his strip up there. This is BLoser. So BLoser and Bronzepanic can see this strip from Bruzer. BLoser now getting his strip up.
Construction complete. New construction option.
Criticalmeds opting for a 3 ref war factory. And he's also got an engineer. I wonder what's going on. There's also an engineer from Bruzer as well in the back. And they're both now on 4 refs apiece. BLoser is still on 3. There's his 4. Bronzepanic is on 3 as well, but he is crawling with hand and nods into. He's trying to get himself into turret distance of this strip, which is really smart. You do want to try and take off turret fight onto the strip. So there it is. So now Bruzer is under a lot of pressure. He needs to try and get rid of this turret and get his own. So it'd probably be best trading these buggies out to the turret and then get his own turret down, and then just to keep taking the turret fights. Obviously, at that point, you need to make sure you've got a bit of money for the turrets, because you always want to be on the higher counter turrets in that situation. You don't want to get overwhelmed and lose your strip, because then it just falls on you really hard. Do see a lot of buggies from BLoser. Out come the tanks from Criticalmeds. He's pushing with them. Bronzepanic is going to get that strip, looks for them. And turrets and the flamers and buggies are doing a lot of damage. If Bruzer loses his strip, it's going to be a big pain for him. I can't really see him coming back. He would have to get a strip in his main base. We do see Bruzer capturing Criticalmeds war factory. That's interesting. Knowing he's going to lose a strip anyway, this is probably the best thing he could have done. But Criticalmeds will be building tanks a little bit slower now. This could hinder his attack on BLoser. A silo's been built, and there's an engineer next to it, so I think this is a backup. I think this is so Criticalmeds can build inside Bruzer's base, just in case Bronzepanic doesn't get through with all these units. Criticalmeds has captured that silo now. He does have freedom to build possibly a barracks in here. Criticalmeds desperate to thin down these knob numbers of BLoser. Bruzer and Criticalmeds both building tanks in the back of Criticalmeds' base. You do see that Apache trying to get damage on the MTV. It does look like them buggers are coming in for a half dive. There they come. I don't think that harvester's going to get out alive. They are blocking its path quite well. Bronzepanic still only on 3 ref. Criticalmeds is on 5, and so is BLoser. That is a lot of buggies still from Bronzepanic. We do see a dive from BLoser, but he's taking a lot of damage on those bikes. Doesn't really want to be taking that type of damage. He's very nestled up with his hand and on and turrets. It's a very good combo to defend against GDI. Bruzer now with more tanks and Criticalmeds, and he's the Nod player, which is interesting. Loser coming in for that power snipe. He's also going to get that barracks by the looks of things. And we do see the dive from Bronzepanic on the war factories. Not much is happening in Bruzer's base. Criticalmeds does have a barracks in there. Possibly a backup. I'm starting to wonder whether both players were trying to get the opposite tech so they could have buggies and tanks together, which would be quite a sick combination. Just like Bruzer has here. The buggies will deal with any type of infantry and the tanks will deal with the mechanised stuff. You do see Criticalmeds losing an engineer there. Makes you wonder what he's going to use it for. Possibly he built it on the wrong barracks. Blues are now opting for the flame tank. Criticalmeds don't have a lot of tanks as it is, so these could be a good choice. Bruzer's still hanging on. He has lost that centre tib, but Bronzepanic isn't really gaining on it with a ref or anything, so it is just wasted. We do see the flame tanks pushing in now. The bikes on the tanks, flame tanks on the infantry. Criticalmeds is in a lot of trouble. He's getting ganked by both players at the same time. Bruzer now coming in with the buggers and tanks to help out. Criticalmeds trying to take on a counter attack while his front door's being battered down. We still have the stalemate in the north. The flame tank coming in to support and kill them infantry. The bikes are now going to pop up and help. Criticalmeds and Bruzer have pushed back on this south side. There's a lot of bikes here though. Bruzer has managed to push forward a little bit, kill a few buggies. Perhaps that, I think they did take out a turret as well. You see a relatively big attack in the south here by Criticalmeds and Bruzer. There's a lot of there is a lot of bikes going in for the dive though. That could be a dead strip. There's nothing there to defend it. There's the strip gone. Oh, we might get these war factories as well. It's going to be a disaster for Criticalmeds and Bruzer. That's the war factory as well. Criticalmeds, if he loses this war factory as well, flame tanks are going to be disastrous. Looks like they're just going to defend that one. Still, the flame tanks are still rolling out. We have sped up a little bit. Let's go back a sec. These little bike dives from Bronzepanic are doing a lot of damage. It does look like he's going to come in for that war factory again. He's being cheeky. He's going to get it. There's nothing there to defend it. Bronzepanic's still on 4F. He hasn't built anything for a while, so his MCV is idle. Looks like Criticalmeds and Bruzer are going to whittle down one of these strips from Bruzer. It is interesting to see the nod with medium tanks. I'll say that now. There is a big Gren contingency coming in now. There's a lot of them. They're going to take out some of the power plants. We still see the stalemate on the top side here. Bruzer pushing in a little bit, kind of on an move command for some reason. Do see one of the houses getting taken out for Bruzer. Criticalmeds still pushing in with the Grens in the north and the tanks in the east. These bikes from Bronzepanic are doing a lot. They are going to get rid of these remaining tanks. They can't build tanks back. Bruzer has managed to get another strip up. He does still have that MCV. Blues are now selling some buildings, getting some money. He's going to be struggling at this point in time for money. So is every other player, I think. Criticalmeds hasn't got the engineer. It looks like he's going to try and take the strip because he doesn't have any vehicle production right now. He has took the strip. It's a smart idea, but does he have the money for it? He has got a $3,000 saved up. He could get some bikes. They do need something to counter those flame tanks. been very interesting to see the swap in War Factory tech between Criticalmeds and Bruzer. They've both been on the opposite tech. Well, Criticalmeds has now got the Nod tech, but both have had both tech during the game at some point. We do see a little attack from the buggies of Bruzer down to Loserpanic. Trying to take out some of these harvesters, but then flame tanks do a lot to buggies in close quarters combat. You see Criticalmeds losing a couple of those buggies in the middle there. Probably shouldn't. He hasn't got a lot as it is. He does have a lot of grenadiers though, and they are coming up through the south. Going up to Bronzepanic from the south as well. Well, they've got to be careful not to lose these strips. They are quite important. Bruzer losing the remaining in his resources there. That strip also getting damaged on Criticalmeds. Criticalmeds is diving in with these grenadiers. It looks like he's going to go for the MCV. He does stop attacking it. He could have probably killed it. He's also going to get this Apache pad while Bruzer's trying to hold on. He does get the Apache pad as well. His Grens are in a bit of trouble with his flamers and buggies coming in now. Bruzer is diving the last refineries of Criticalmeds. If he loses these, he ain't going to have a lot of money for the rest of the game. He has lost them, so he is down to 1 ref. Bruzer now down to 2 ref as well. It does look like Bronzepanic and the Loserpanic have the better eco. They're also down to 4 ref though. They have mined out. Bronzepanic hasn't mined out. He's still got a lot of resources. Criticalmeds and Bruzer did clear up the south side, but a bit too late. Bronzepanic now pushing in. Ooh, he doesn't really want to lose those buggies. He has got a bit of an advantage, but not when fighting near a turret. Criticalmeds with the little bike squads, trying to get himself back into this game. He's on limited eco, just like Bruzer. It's going to be an upward struggle now. Trying to clear out these flame tanks with a bit of bike micro. It is nice to see the bikes being microed back. If they're not, they will get one shot by them flame tanks, and you don't want a 500 cross unit just getting one shot like that. Bronzepanic still has a lot of these buggies. Looks like he's going for some dives or harvester snipes. Bruzer trying his best to defend this harvester. Flame has blown up on the tank again. We've seen that a few times already. These bikes from Criticalmeds are being a bit of a pain. The Bronzepanic's looking sweet. He's got enough units to defend himself. There's no more resources in the bottom right for Criticalmeds, so he's really long distance mining. Bronzepanic still with the superior numbers. He doesn't have a lot of buggies. Again, Bruzer with a push of the flame tanks in the south. It's going to go unbacked because Bruzer and Criticalmeds are trying to get rid of Bronzepanic. He's going to go for his barracks most probably. That is his last production building down there for Criticalmeds. He does have the strip at the north, but nothing in the south now. We do see Bronzepanic fighting off both sides at the same time. He's doing very well to micro this. We do see the bikes come through, but they are getting hit by the flamers on the way past. What a scrappy game. What a long game too. We do see the final parts of the south expansion go. Criticalmeds is down to just the barracks and strip. It looks like Bronzepanic has had enough. He's bringing the bikes in to finish it off. And that's it, game. It does go to a tied game at 1-1. Loserpanic and Bronzepanic do take that game. What a long game. I think that's the first time we've seen Rat D actually fail on Zodiac for the first time, so they're not always going to win, obviously. So that ties it up 1-1. Let's have a look at the scoreboard. Hopefully it works this time.
Battle control terminated.
That's interesting. Might have to reset my game. Hello guys, welcome to game 3 of series 5. We couldn't get the scoreboard in the last game. I have tried to reset things and hopefully it does come back. But yeah, game 3 we are on Surf's Up. We've seen this one a lot too. A lot of people's choice. These 2v2s. We've got Bruzer in the top left in red, Criticalmeds in the bottom left as orange, Bronzepanic in the bottom right in yellow, and BLoser in the teal. Let's crack on. We do see an instant deploy from everybody but Criticalmeds. Criticalmeds opting to move the MCV, so this crawls a lot shorter distance, I suppose. Again, it is 3 nods and 1 GDI. Do see a lot of infantrymen coming out from the nods now, mostly riflemen. They are generally your scouts. They're nice and cheap. Losing a flamer is obviously twice as much as a rifleman, so it is better to use the cheaper option. Criticalmeds does let an infantryman past. We can go into the vision of these players. BLoser has managed to get an infantry in. He's going to get a scout. Ooh, close. Criticalmeds has vision of the south refs of Bronzepanic. BLoser has managed to see the MCV of Criticalmeds. Somehow got past this Grenadier, but Grenadiers aren't very good anti-scout. Everybody knows that. They're a bit terrible. Criticalmeds opting for that free ref on the starting patch. We do see free ref from every player, so pretty standard intros to a game. We see the 4th ref coming up now for Criticalmeds. We do often see GDI go for that 4 ref. Bron's doing very well to get rid of the scouts that are trying to get in. But Criticalmeds and Bruzer, I've barely seen the strip on the MCV of Bronzepanic down there. BLozer's done very well at defending against the scouts, and he's also managed to scout the majority of Criticalmeds' stuff. Criticalmeds has opted for a 5 ref. He is pumping out infantry now. It looks like he wants to get on top of Bronzepanic's base pretty early. BLoser is now 4 ref strip. Infantrymen are doing their job. They are getting rid of some of these buggies, or at least dealing damage, getting rid of some of the flamers. They could go for an MCV snipe if he keeps pushing. We do see BLoser pushing some buggies down into the back of Criticalmeds' base, but Bruzer's on it. He is going to defend him. Sorry if the word Bruzer and BLoser sound the same, but these guys do have relatively similar sounding names. Bruzer obviously plays with Criticalmeds, and BLoser is with Bronzepanic. So we see Bruzer helping Criticalmeds now with this push against Bronzepanic. Them buggies are pretty chopped up from the infantry and the buggies. He has got a turret now, so those buggies can't do too much. Looks like they're going to go for some harbour harass. These flamers are going to be big. They could get some big shots here. They have all stacked up. That's huge. BLoser now taking advantage of the fact Bruzer isn't defending his base right now. He's going to go for a harvester snipe. He doesn't fancy it now. There is a few bikes there. Bruzer just trying to get these buggies out of this situation. They are pretty cornered. Criticalmeds still not stopping with this Grenadier push. He does have the War Factory up now with a few tanks. We do see Bruzer on the 4F2 strip, and BLoser is now on 6 ref on the 1 strip. We do see artillery on the high ground. This is really smart from Bronzepanic. He can get these barracks from a distance. But he's opting to go for the ref. These artillery do have a good range, but as you can see, the accuracy can be a bit rubbish. Oh, that was a nice shot. Oh, and another one. The tanks are responding to this now. They should have the range to get rid of these artillery from the high ground. Bruzer and BLoser going for a bit of a 1v1 in the middle there. They are going to contest this centre tape. Looks like Bluzer's going to lose his MCV. He hasn't. I don't think he's noticed. Bruzer's managed to get the kill on the MCV. That's huge. Does mean Bluzer can't build any more turrets. So this is all he's going to get in the centre now. But Bruzer can, so he can out-turret him. Criticalmeds does have quite a lot of tanks now. He is 6 refinery. We do see a double attack on Bluzer now with these tanks and bikes. Criticalmeds coming to help clear out this area in the centre. Bronzepanic has noticed and is coming to help Bluzer. But buggies aren't really going to do much against these tanks. There's a lot of bikes in there too. They will chop up these buggies pretty quickly. Bruzer now pushing with his own turrets. He does have the MCV advantage over Bluzer. Criticalmeds opting to crawl to the centre of the map now. Do you see a counter attack from Bluzer trying to get that MCV? Criticalmeds really pushing in now on this position. He does want to get rid of Bronzepanic's strip. But these turrets are going to fall pretty quick as well with all these bikes in support. We do see a nice bit of double teaming on Bronzepanic. That is a 7 ref 2 war factory build. That is a lot of tanks. And Bronzepanic haven't really got much to deal with this now. Bruzer's going home to defend against Bluzer, and it looks like it's going to be a 2v1 situation in no time. Bronzepanic really didn't have much to deal with this in a 2v1 situation, so he couldn't really done much more. Bluzer did try and go for the counter attack, but it's not working very well. Criticalmeds managing to capture one of Bronzepanic's hand and nods, and he is building flamers. We can check out the resources. We can see Bruzer is in the lead with a kill count. He has done a lot this game. Criticalmeds opting not to kill Bronzepanic off completely, but to go straight towards Bluzer. Bluzer still trying to push Bruzer back on the top. I keep getting the bloody name. The names sound so familiar, you don't know which one you said. It's quite funny. But there goes Bluzer. He's given up. And there comes a sell from Bronzepanic. So it is going to go 2-1 to Rat D. So that's Criticalmeds and Bruzer, 2-1 up. It looks like they forgot to take off the destroy all structures scenario, so we did have to quit. So if we just see if the scoreboard works this time. Hopefully it does. Nope, it's having me on for a laugh. Welcome back, guys. This is game number 4 of Series 5. Criticalmeds and Bruzer versus Loserpanic and Bronzepanic. We're on Steps of War. Bruzer is in the top right, Criticalmeds in the bottom right, Bluzer in the bottom left, and Bronzepanic in the top left. Criticalmeds opting for a bit of a crawl. He's putting the MCV closer to that cliff, probably a bit more defensive against these 2 nods. You do have to think about what you're doing as GDI when you're against 2 nods, because they will dive your buildings. Interesting barracks placement, trying to wall off as much as he can. Bluzer obviously knows Criticalmeds is very aggressive with grenadiers at the start of the game, so he has gone for the double barracks. Try and defend himself. Bruzer did manage to get the MCV scout. Looks like Criticalmeds is going to get the MCV scout as well, so they've both got the MCV scouts. Bluzer and Bronzepanic yet to get a scout on their opponent, so this could be dangerous, especially if you see like a infantry all in. We do have 2 GDIs, so this could be a lot of Gren harass early game. As you can see, if you look at the money, you can tell the GDIs are going for that heavier Gren style at the start of the game, because Blues has excess of 4k and Bronzepanic is sat on a nice 3k. So we do see 3 ref from everyone except BLoser. It looks like BLoser's probably going to go for an early strip. But the problem with going for an early strip like this is if you have to keep building flamers, you're going to have no money by the time it's up. And it looks like Criticalmeds is pushing into him to the point where he isn't going to have a lot of money. BLoser is now pushing into Bronzepanic as well, so he's going to force him to build more flamers. We do see an artillery. That's an interesting choice. Criticalmeds does only have infantry, and artillery do like to kick infantries, but that was a bit of self-damage from the artillery on that strip. Criticalmeds still opting to build a load of grenadiers, but I don't think he's going to push with them. He has built an Orca. Orcas do counter artillery, so good choice, but he might have been building the war factory and opted to cancel it for that Orca. Bruzer now on 5 ref, feeling comfortable. But BLoser and Bronze both have their strip up now. Criticalmeds still trying to push onto this power plant. He's just keeping him in front of BLoser for now, because his eco will run out trying to defend against these grenadiers. We do see a flame tank. Flame tanks are going to do really well here, because Criticalmeds only has infantry tech and only 1 Orca. 1 Orca is not enough to really take out these flame tanks. But he does make him sell the MCV, and he is going for his last power plant. We do see Bronzepanic taking a scout around the map, trying to get some damage on that MCV of Bruzer. And he has now sat on top of the war factory of Criticalmeds. Bruzer is trying to come and reinforce that area. We do see the second strip from Bronzepanic, so he's free ref 2 strip. That might be an all-in. We will see these flame tanks cut up all the infantry that are built from here, and he is going for what looks like an MCV dive with that flame tank. He's going to go for it. He has got the barracks on the bottom as well, so he's doing well with these flame tanks. Both Criticalmeds and Bruzer have Orcas now. Buggies are alright, but I think bikes would have supported BLoser a lot. He needs the bikes to get rid of the Orcas, because the Orcas are the only things killing these flame tanks at the minute. There's 1 or 2 tanks out, but flame tanks will still get some damage, even if 1 tank is on the field, because it does take quite a few shots to kill a flame tank. Bruzer's still on that 5 ref eco. He can spam grenades like this, but he doesn't want to lose them all in one big flame ball like that. It's barbecue season. We do see the tanks from Criticalmeds trying to keep Bruzer alive from these flame tanks, as well as himself. BLoser is now struggling on eco. He does still only have 1 ref and low power, so we won't be seeing much more units out of him for now. It is down to Bronzepanic. He does need to take out these tanks with these bikes. He is going for the tanks. He is picking off the ones that are unguarded. Very well played. We see the Orca now is going to struggle against those bikes. He is cutting up the tank count. He's doing well. Criticalmeds opted to sell. You do see that Orca taking some shots, but it did get rid of the buggy. Criticalmeds does need to defend this war factory. He has got the grenadiers in front of the tanks. Trying to keep that Orca alive as well. So it's all down to these flame tank and bike micro. If you can keep microing these bikes to the tanks and the flame tanks to the infantry, they could have a shot still, even with being in the inferior position with eco. Oh, Criticalmeds might lose a big chunk of army here. He needs to spread them out. Oh, sorry, that was Bruzer's army, not Criticalmeds. It looks like Bruzer was defending Criticalmeds at that time. Bike's still getting tank picks. They are doing well. That flame tank's going to get a juicy shot, but he did have to sell this strip. Another bike dive from Bronzepanic. He does want to get that war factory. The problem is, killing that war factory now is going to force Criticalmeds to build infantry, and he only really has bikes, so he's just countered himself in an essence. Because we don't have any flame tanks anymore from BLoser. We do see the war factory go down from Bruzer as well, but like I said, with him only having bikes, forcing both GDI to now just mass produce infantry is a bad choice. We do see the engineer trying to catch a Bronzepanic strip there from Criticalmeds. So he's now only down to one strip and it's going to die. The tanks have got on top of it. He's only got a few bikes left on the map. It looks like Criticalmeds and Bruzer are going to take this 3-1. Bronzepanic only has a barracks left. I don't think he can do much with one barracks. It looks like they're calling GG and they're selling up. So it will go 3-1 to Criticalmeds and Bruzer. The scoreboards haven't been working, so I mean I can give it a try, but if not, thank you for watching, guys. I will get into Series 6 soon. It will be another one between RatD and Team. So obviously RatD have played a lot of games already. Don't forget each team does need to play every other team, so that is 8 games per team. We'll look forward to it, but Criticalmeds and Bruzer are doing really well with a double GDI on Steps of War. You can tell Bronzepanic and BLoser had a game plan going into this one. It looked like BLoser was the flame tank guy and Bronzepanic was the bike guy. Against double GDI, that's really good, but you would need very good synergized micro to pull it off. So that's it, guys. I'll see you again soon in Series 6. Let's see if this scoreboard works. Oh, now it works. Thanks, Jim. Yeah, thanks, Jim. Thanks, game. Finally, it works. As you can see, obviously, Criticalmeds and Bruzer had this superior eco. BLoser losing too much at the start for them flame tanks to really kick up a stink. But they still did a bit of damage because he did get the most kills. And obviously, Criticalmeds and Bruzer did get enough tanks to counter-attack those flame tanks early. See you later, guys. Thanks again.